All right, everyone, this is Dr. Phillips again, and here's some things to keep in mind as you're working through your courses. These are more general things of the course, not so much populi. If you'd like to know what the designations mean at the end of the course numbers, we have Resident Modular and Distance Education Online. You'll see these two different suffixes on courses. So what exactly does that mean? When TSBC uses the term online class, it can mean two different things. A resident modular class, which is one of the RM classes, meets at the same time every week. Let's say an example is 7 p.m., and you are expected to attend when the course is live, whether it's in person or online by Zoom. So your attendance is expected in class at the time it goes live. At 7 p.m., for example, either in class or online. So your attendance will be recorded. If it says DEO, a suffix of DEO, that means distance education online. That means the videos or presentations by the professor are recorded and you can watch them at 2 a.m. in the morning in wearing your pajamas. You can watch those anytime through the week. There is not a schedule. But attendance is taken for DEO classes as well. Okay, and we'll explain that. So RM, you either have to be in class in person or online on Zoom when class begins. DEO are asynchronous, meaning there's no time schedule that you have to be live in the class. With DEO classes, you still have to submit your assignments when they are due. You can't do the whole class in 1 week. It takes a whole semester. Okay? If you are unable to attend, let your professor know as soon as possible beforehand. This is true in either class. For example, in resident modular class, if you are unable to be online at 7 p.m., or you're going to be away from the class, you can't be in person, let your professor know. Communicate by email. Okay? If you have a distance education class, Populi knows and tracks when you log into your account. And your attendance will check to see that you've gone in and worked on some assignment. Log in, work on your materials once a week. If you have to take a week and go out of town, remember you can access Populi anywhere in the world at any time. Okay? These are just things to be aware of. Your attendance is important. The syllabus. Every course has a syllabus. We've already looked at where to find each course's syllabus on Populi. But the syllabus shows your textbooks, all your assignments, and remember from my 7 tips for student success, print the syllabus for each course or download a digital version, read it before the semester starts, and read it once a week during the semester for each course you have. That is a pro tip that will get you through the semester with flying colors. Student email. Once again from my 7 tips. Check it every day, and it is the preferred method of communication for Tri-State Bible College. Now, here's another pro tip. If you have a .edu address, you can use that for an Amazon Prime student membership. So look up the benefits of an Amazon Prime student membership. And as long as you are an active student at Tri-State with a .edu address, you can have the benefits of Amazon Prime. Turabian formatting. This may be new to you, but briefly, all research papers and book reviews are to be submitted in Turabian formatting. The sample Turabian guide is actually in this course on the syllabus tab. I have supplied it already. You don't have to wait for an email. The Turabian guide is present in this orientation course. Now, things that Turabian covers: how to lay out a cover page, how to create a footnote, how to cite a book that you're quoting from, a bibliography entry for books you may have looked at but not directly quoted, the font size of the paper, the kind of punctuation, how big the indents should be on a paper, what size margins to use, how to number the pages, and how to provide any headings or subheadings throughout the paper. It seems meticulous, but there is a reason for doing this because it is the accepted standard at whatever seminary or Bible college you attend. If you learn these habits early, they become like clockwork. So please, try to do your best with Turabian. We need to see that. So here's some examples of what is plagiarism. I'm going to ask you a question, and you tell me whether you think it is plagiarism or if it isn't. Okay? A definition of plagiarism is using someone else's work without giving them proper credit. If you quote from a book, if you copy a portion of web page, if you hear a speech on TV and write down a quote, you have to give a citation for where you got this material if it isn't something you've created. Okay, so here's 6 examples. Let's see if they are plagiarism or not. Number 1, copying parts of a text word for word without quotation marks. Is it plagiarism or is it not? Yes, this is plagiarism. Do not copy anything without quotation marks and a citation. What is plagiarism? Example 2. Is this plagiarism? Paraphrasing a text by changing a few words, putting a text in your own words, or altering the sentence structure, turning the sentence around without citing the source. Is it plagiarism or not? Yes, that is plagiarism. All right? Make sure there's a citation. Example 3. Is giving incorrect information about a source plagiarism? Yes. Make sure you cite a source correctly. A lot of the sources you are using, your professor is familiar with. Your professor is also familiar with how you write. And if he thinks you're using words that are beyond your vocabulary at this point in time, that's not a knock. Okay? Please understand that's not a knock. I have had a student a long time ago who was using very sophisticated words from philosophy when I knew he had never studied philosophy. So it stands out, and we know we just want you to use proper citation. So giving incorrect information about your source is plagiarism. Number 4, is it or is it not plagiarism? Quoting so much from a source that it makes up the majority of your text. Yes, that is plagiarism. Limit your quotes to a particular size. There's information in the Turabian Guide. Example 5. Reusing work you've submitted for a previous assignment without citing yourself. Is it plagiarism or is it not? Actually, yes, you are plagiarizing yourself. We had it happen to one of our better students who reused portions of a paper from a previous class. Don't do that. And the professor caught it. And this was a student who intended no harm. He simply didn't know the rule. But now, everyone watching this video knows the rule. If you're going to reuse work you've submitted for a previous assignment, put it in quotation marks and cite yourself. It's okay to cite yourself, just cite where that paper came from previously. See, it's a matter of dotting your I's and crossing your T's, and think of what the Lord would say, right? About those who, in the least, who focus on the least, can be trusted. Okay? Example 6. Submitting a text written entirely by someone else. For example, buying a paper from a ghostwriter. Well, I would hope you would see why that is plagiarism. We want to see how well you write so that we can help you get better, so that you can glorify the Lord and communicate his word to the best of your ability. Okay, that's the whole deal with writing papers. Now, at this time, our faculty continue to discuss the use of ChatGPT and AI, but at this time, our consensus is, unless you are explicitly assigned the use of ChatGPT or some other AI author like Grok on Twitter or X, the unauthorized use of AI in generating content for course assignments is prohibited and will result in penalties, including a failing grade for the assignment and/or course. We want you to create original material that, when you use professional examples of scholarly sources, that you cite where you get your source. So what are rubrics? Rubrics are created by your professor to give you an example of exactly how your assignment is being graded. So see your course Populi page. I have asked our professors to provide a rubric for at least one assignment this semester. Finally, if you need a couple places to find scholarly online sources, in addition to our library, you can find scholarly papers on JSTOR.com and scholar.google.com. And please, 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 in your efforts, do not use Wikipedia as a source. It cannot be trusted. It is not peer-reviewed. And I can give you several examples of, just from an ethical position, of why we do not trust Wikipedia. Thank you all. If you have any questions, of course, reach out to me. This has been Dr. P.